Hi, I'm Solomon Peretsky, principal of the CRE Coaching and Consulting Group, and I'd like to welcome you to the inaugural episode of Numbers for You, a brief video that takes an economic data point and shows you what it means and how to present it. Look, we know that there's a lot of research and data already out there, but our goal here is to help you not just have the data, but interpret it for your clients. Today, we're going to talk about the 10-year Treasury rate, which is the benchmark, of course, for much financing out there in the commercial real estate world, one way or another. So here's a 3-year history of the 10-year Treasury taken from Fred. If you're not familiar with Fred, that's fred.stlouisfed.org. It's the St. Louis Fed's super handy macroeconomic data website. So this graph said it's 3 years ending right in the beginning of June of 2023. And as you can see, and you probably remember, we had downright absurdly low rates during COVID. And those rates remained nice and low for most of 2021 and the first few months of 2022. And then as the economy started to heat up in the spring and summer of 2022, the 10-year went up, way up. So rates are up. And they're definitely a lot higher than they were in the summer of 2020. But are rates high? Well, that's really a matter of perspective. So this graph, same source, same data set, but instead of 3 years, it's roughly 60 years. And look, there's definitely been an uptick in interest rates over the last year or so. I mean, you can see that on the right side of the graph. When you look at today's interest rates in the context of the last 60 years, by the way, or the last 30 years or 40 years, interest rates are pretty low. And when you compare them to the interest rates we had during the last great bull market during the 2000s, which was a truly great bull market, they're still very low. So when you go from amazing to great, now look, I get it. We had amazing rates in 2020. We have great rates today. Well, great's not as good as amazing. However, great is still pretty darn good. And that's where we sit today. We have great rates. So it's truly all a matter of perspective. Look, both of these graphs are true. In fact, the graph on top is just the rightmost 5% of the bottom graph. They're both true, but they both tell very different stories. And it's your job as a broker to share data with clients in a way that gives them perspective. Right? Top graph, right? Create some fear of missing out. It's a good tool to use with a seller where you can say that the market's gotten worse. It appears to have stabilized, but it could get even worse, right? That top graph is a sign of risk and a sign that, hey, things can get worse from here. Don't miss out, move quickly. Conversely, if someone needs perspective, needs reassurance, that bottom graph, the message is, look, you're right. The market today isn't as good as it was 2 years ago, but it's still pretty good. And it's a market where it's not a bad time to be selling. And by the way, you can also use this with buyers to point out this ain't a bad time to buy and take out a loan either. Just not as good a time as it was 2 years ago. But it's not a bad time, right? If someone's held for at least 5 years, the interest rate is about the same as it was when they bought, but they've got 5 years of hopefully NOI growth and principal pay down. So they're better off, right? If they've been holding for over 10 years, they're in a very low interest rate environment, relatively speaking. And they have 10 years of rent growth and 10 years of principal pay down, right? So the same data, by looking at different time frames, can tell different stories to your clients. So that's the talking point. Now I want to take probably about 90 seconds to show you how you can build your own versions of these slides. The first thing you need to do is access the data set. So this is the DGS-10 data set, but just point your camera at that QR code and it'll pop right up on your screen. And once you've captured it, right, once you got it on your screen, you can save the graph. So you see there's a little button in the upper right-hand, not far in the upper right-hand corner, but in the upper right-hand quarter that says download. And if you click that button, you'll be able to download that slide in 5 different formats. So there's 3 different images. I think it's a PNG, a PowerPoint slide, and a PDF. Or if you just want to work with the data and make your own graph, you can get it in Excel or CSV. Just click that download. It comes right down to your computer. Then if you want to customize the graph, you can also edit the time frame that it reflects. And the way you do that is if you look at those little boxes, there's an opportunity to either enter your own dates, or they've got, 1 year, 5 year, 10-year max. They've got easy ways to pull the dates. And then once you set the dates the way you want them, graph will update, click the download button, and it's yours. So with that in mind, if you'd like to save a step and just get the raw slides, please reach out to us at our website, cre-ccg.com, and we'll be glad to just send you the slides and make it easy. Most importantly, thank you very much for joining us for Numbers for You, episode 1. Thank you for being with us while we talked about the 10-year Treasury, and we'll have more good stuff coming for you soon. Bye-bye.